Okay, we're back now. We're doing another tryout, and this is okay. And we're with Melanie Rene Peters from Under the Moon Paranormal, and we're gonna kind of see. We're trying to get this thing started earlier, so I'm gonna be breaking some of that in, some of it out. We were having technical issues. If a lot of you remember on the last tryout we had with Spider Queen, we had all kind of issues. We had lights up there that were blinking. We had my camera that was glitching. Melanie, let's talk about your Under the Moon Paranormal. I wasn't too familiar with that at all until that you requested that you showed interest in doing this. And why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, when the pandemic hit, I kind of withdrew from everything. I was scared of the public and everything. I didn't do ghost hunting for a few years because I had a career with the public. So I kind of stepped back away from ghost hunting altogether. The pandemic happened. I quit that career. And then this American Paranormal magazine reached out to me and was interested in what I had on my website. And I was like, oh, you know what? That's a calling for me to get back into ghost hunting. So I took that and ran with it, and then I saw Dalen's videos, and he really inspired me to get out there and go back to the cemeteries where I originally started at.
So let me ask you that. On that note, who went to the cemeteries first, you or Dalen? About the time period, you know what I mean?
Well, I used to do it way back in 2008, and from 2008 to probably 2014 until I got my career, because I was a cake decorator for a long time, and I was too busy to go out and ghost hunt or anything. But yeah, aside from the cemeteries, I think Dalen is the one that kind of started that back up during the pandemic. And when I saw his videos, I was like, you know what? I got a spirit box. I'm going to go out there and do the same thing he's doing. And I've gotten a lot of great responses, and now they're starting to say Dalen's name through the spirit box when I'm out there, which I find very interesting.
Well, I got a good question for you. What kind of spirit box are you using?
I just use this one. It's the PS7, the original, and I just have a little attachment speaker that hooks into the headphone jack.
Yeah, I think most of them has some type of a little mic. I think that's one of them. What do you call it? Bluetooth mic? Is that what they're using? Some of them?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah, because I see him. He'll carry that little round. I'm not familiar with the equipment at all, so let's make sure we understand and that everybody understands that I'm not a ghost hunter. I've never gone ghost hunting. I've had experiences. I do. I mean, I can definitely say that there's it's very possible. I'm sure. I believe in what I do see. Yeah.
This thing, and it's a radio sweeper. It's not a word-based generated app from a phone. It's a actual AM FM radio scanner sweeper, and it has different speeds to slow it down or speed it up. I kind of keep it around the middle so it's not too fast, not too slow. But yeah, it's like 1/8 of a second is what it just sweeps through all the radio frequencies. It's very interesting.
Now, I've heard a lot of talk on there on some of these shows where they're using these things. Now, I think the topic has been coming up with Dalen's deal, AM or FM?
I like FM. AM has this weird music box type sound that kind of hurts my ears when it's in AM mode. So it's on your personal preference, really, if you like the sound of AM versus FM, which I like the FM.
I like the music on FM.
Yeah, same.
Better, and but okay. So you kind of told us when you started, and you kind of told us what kind of gave you the idea, because that was my other question. So you kind of went right in line with that. So again, I haven't had a chance to really see some of your stuff. YouTube. How many videos do you have on YouTube so far, or do you have many?
I have over 200 videos, but a lot of them are paranormal, but there's a lot of I do cooking videos, and I'm a cat mom. I have cats, so there's cat videos on there too.
Yeah, no problem. Nothing wrong with that. And so on Under the Moon Paranormal, is that where they find you on YouTube?
Yes, Under the Moon Paranormal.
Okay. No, like I said, I haven't had a lot of chance to do that because, as you know, I do have Slap Recon on my other thing, and I get people talking to me on that. And lately, I've been working on getting the shirts, and hey, there they are. In case y'all are wondering, the shirts are
It's really
in.
good. Looks
They
really
made it.
good.
Yeah, I thought I'd wear one versus Bones wearing one. That's why he's not here. He's pissed, so he's upset that he wasn't able to wear the shirt. So I told him, I said, "Not yet, man.
Aw.
I mean, he's supposed to be harboring the other one. I mean, he'll get one. He figures his way." So, but they are in, and so you do. How many channels do you have other than this? I mean, you say you do cooking shows too. What is that on
It's just
your
all it's
regular?
all on the same channel, all on Under the Moon Paranormal. I didn't figure why make a bunch of channels, just put it all on one, you know? It's
I
easier
guess
that
that
way, less passwords.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I know some people have asked me if I would, I was a caterer and had my own food truck business and all that before all this stuff, and a lot of people have asked me, and I started putting out some of the videos on that, and then I just said, let me just stick to what I wanted to do, so, I thought this was going to be more interesting, so I decided to stick with this, but there's nothing wrong with doing that. I mean, I think that's pretty cool. I suggest you just split a different channel.
Really?
I mean,
I may do that one day.
yeah, why not? I mean, you can give yourself a whole new identity in that, and then get a whole different group of people. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here, but I mean, that's what that's what I mean. I mean, that's what I'm doing, And so you say you do studio podcasts like this, right?
Yes, it's actually it's called Under the Moon Paranormal Presents Ohio Legends. So I take a one specific topic. It's a 1 month per episode, 1 episode a month podcast. So under every full moon, I release a new episode. And it's usually Ohio based, but this month I'm doing Bobby Mackey's just because it's getting torn down and it's just really close to where I live.
So doing Bobby Mackey's, how do you get in? I mean, I know how to walk in the door. I mean, like a special permission, or I mean, what is that? You got to know
A
the
lot of
people.
people just kind of pull up to the side of the parking lot and just kind of go around the building and just kind of look around. But there are tours going on right now until they demolish it. But I'm pretty sure they're all booked up until the very last day.
Yeah.
But yeah, they have like tours, or they used to have tours. But I'm
Hmm.
wondering if they rebuild it, are they still going to continue doing tours in the new building? That's going to be the interesting question.
Yeah. Well, my interesting question on that's good too. But I want to know, are they going to dig out that hole? You know what I'm saying? Dig it out, or
Yeah,
fill it? Because there's a difference. Filling it in is not the same as digging it out. So,
right.
and that's where I'm at. I'm kind of wondering that, are they going to actually dig that thing out of it, or because if they're just going to fill it back up, then they're just putting more icing on the burnt part of the cake.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, I agree. They need to completely level that whole well out.
well, to me personally, that's the only way I would go, because whatever they're going to do with it afterwards, I don't know if Bob Mackey's actually selling the property and all that, and these are new developers coming in, because I don't know the whole story on that at all. Maybe later you can find out all that if you don't already know, and then
Yep, I've already been some digging.
yeah, let me know what comes out of that. And then maybe we can get you back on another podcast and we can talk about that, because I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem bringing up anything on this podcast. I really don't. There's I'm trying to hook up with the witch side too, witches and Wiccans and stuff, and a lot of people tell me, you think you really want to do that? And I said, well, I mean, what does that mean? I'm not worried about stuff like that. I was a combat engineer in the military, man. I mean, I'm not going to run. I mean, so
That's interesting that you bring up the witchcraft stuff because I've been investigating this haunted apartment uptown where I live, and I caught a disembodied voice that actually told me that I'm a witch. And she said, "Oh, witch!" Like she didn't want me around because I'm a witch. Which I do read tarot cards and I do pendulum readings, but I haven't really practiced paganism for a couple of years though.
okay. Well, as long as you heard witch with a W, we're good, right?
Yeah, it's definitely with a W.
Okay, I want to make sure, because if that was coming on my side to some people that I know, it wouldn't be no W in front of that. It wouldn't be a W at all. So, because there's a lot of people that are, but
Hmm.
yeah, no, I mean, like I say, I'm not really afraid to talk about anything, because me, I figured like this, talking about it doesn't mean I'm going to go in there and investigate it. So that's not what I'm planning on doing at all. So, so
That's true. Yeah.
yeah, I don't mind talking to somebody on here and then, tell me what they think and whatnot. The other thing is, I understand you do tarot readings.
Absolutely. I've been reading tarot cards since I was 15 years old, and I'm almost 40.
So, and when you do these tarot readings, you invite people in, or is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I just go live on YouTube anymore. I used to like just do this Facebook page and have like tarot card games, but anymore I just go live and just ask people what they want to know and pull a card for them.
Hmm. So they just pop in and they go, "Hey, I'm online," or do they go,
Yeah,
"Okay, would you pull mine?" Or if you see their name pop up, you're just going to pull it or pull a card, or do?
pretty much. They usually ask what general area they want a reading in. It's more likely it's a love reading that people want to know more about their love life. That's the most popular readings that I do.
Wow. No, I'm at the end of my love life, so I don't need that card popping up. I'm good with that. You get my age, that's about as far as we want to go right there. Long time being married, so.
Yeah, same.
And when you get on, when Dalen goes live on there, you're always on there under Melanie, right?
Under the Moon Paranormal. That's what
Okay,
my
so
name pops up as.
okay, and that's what I'm trying to figure. Make sure that people understand now is when you do pop up, how they can see who you are versus going by your name. You understand? Because I like me,
Right.
everybody knows me by my call signs. The two that I have, and not by my personal name. And the reason I do that is for, well, not a lot of people say security reasons. No, I'm not worried about
Hmm.
that. It has nothing to do with that. It's just an identity. So
Yes.
they're different entities, but basically. And I just want this one and that one. I'm working on a third one now, so that's kind of another thing that I'm working on, and that's why I developed Slapping Strange Productions now, because I think I'm going to start, instead of order a shirt on this, go to this site, then order Slap Recon on that site, and then order. I decided it's not really fair to do that, so I'm just going to do a marketplace on, Slapping Strange Productions, and I think it'd be easier that way. For me,
Oh, that
I
sounds like a
think it
great
would.
idea. Yeah.
Yeah, what's the purpose of popping out all these different things? Because every time you get to a like right now, I never really sold shirts online. I'm learning. I'm learning a lot about it. Because like I didn't know anything about this, nor did I know anything about a YouTube page. But I learned a lot about it because I won't run from nothing. If I'm heck bent on wanting to know it, I'm going to learn. Or I'm going to learn as much as I can. And I'm not going to
Yeah.
just. Yeah, I'm not going halfway. I need to know whatever. I want to know everything in it. So I'm learning now. I'm seeing some of this stuff, but I understand that you got to get more. Like all this is, you got to sign up and yeah, pay the fees, the monthly fees and whatnot.
Hmm.
What's the word? Can't come up with the word.
Subscriptions.
Subscriptions. There you go. I just couldn't get that out. Ain't nothing make moving around here, so we're good. So. Yeah, and that's what it is. So I figured, why do a subscription for that and then a subscription for this one? And then I already got enough subscriptions. I'm not going to sit here and have 20 of them. That's not going. You can't do that.
Yeah. Gets out of
So
hand after a while.
yeah, I mean, so we'll leave it. Just go with that. And so what? Since you have your own podcast, what makes you want to co-host with us?
I just figured it'd be good to get, my name out there for Under the Moon Paranormal, and just also to help you get your name out there too for all them spooky viewers that I have. We can like collaborate and do some spooky episodes on whatever.
Yeah, I mean, a lot. Actually, what would really be cool is when you go out there to do one of your uh, I guess ghost hunt, or what do you call it? Visits, hunts. What is it you're actually doing when you go to the cemetery?
I call it scientific experiments because I take like different equipment with me each time and kind of just mess with the equipment and see which ones they can use easier, which ones are harder for them to use. It's really fun. I always take something different every time.
Okay, so
But
it's
the
kind of like test mode. You just
Yeah, yeah. The one piece of equipment I bring with me every time is the spirit box. But just yesterday, I had what they call paranormal cat balls, where it's these
yeah.
little balls that light up. I had like 6 of them out there with me, and I had them on all different headstones in a line. And I said, well, if you're here, light up one of these headstones. And the one right next to me, the one closest to me, is the one that lit up, of course, just to spook me.
Yeah, when I had the ghost hunting beauties on here, not on, yeah, they weren't here, and she had told me that because I asked her what was her preferred, tool and whatnot, and she told me right off the bat, and was cat balls. And I was kind of shocked on that, and I was like, really? I know that I've seen them use them in some of the shows, on Travel Channel and whatnot.
Right.
But she had said that, yeah, that was kind of like her most, to her, it was it was her go-to tool, put it that way.
Yeah. I will say I just bought my cat balls like just 2 months ago, and they quickly became one of my favorite devices to use, for sure.
Has Dalen even used those yet out there on the graveyard shift? I don't think I've seen him use that yet.
I don't think so. I don't think I've seen him use the cat balls out there.
Well, I'm going to say this and watch 100 people do it. We're just going to do it for the heck of it. Watch this. I wonder if anybody sends him some cat balls, would he use them?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for him to use that SB7 spirit box somebody sent him for his birthday, because I'd like to see how he uses that, see what settings he likes to use.
Yeah, and that's the other thing on all these tools, and that's why I don't have time to really and get into these tools personally, because I know that there's a lot involved in trying to. It's just like these things. There's a lot of people. Some people may not know the work that's involved in just doing a small little podcast, even for a 30-minute podcast. It takes hours to get these things together.
Absolutely.
And processes and money sometimes, if you want to do it. If you're the dummy I am, you got to pay a little money to get the editors and all that good stuff, because I know some people can do it on their phones. I'm not that guy. So, sorry. But yeah, and it's just like learning them tools. If you learn them tools that you're talking about, I'm sure there's different ways to do them and different ways to do them right. But the other thing is, like what you said, you got to kind of experiment with these things off and on, not just set it and think forget it and think that's all I need right there. We're good. And run out there and start running through the cemetery screaming at ghosts and stuff. So what's your go-to? The cat balls?
My go-to, honestly, is the spirit box or the Flux 2 response device. I don't know if you've ever heard of that one. It's a little triangle that has a red light and a green light. So you can ask the spirits yes or no questions, and they can answer pretty easily. So that one's really fun to use in a cemetery, because they seem to be able to use that one easier versus the spirit box.
Okay. Yeah, I've seen. I mean, because you see, the Kindreds guys and some of these guys, everybody's pulling out tools, But you can't say now, because I'm talking about back then, because I know most of the shows have been either canceled or just on a waiting list or standby or whatever you want to call it, because nobody really knows what's going to happen next,
Yeah.
I will mention that Travel Channel was a big disappointment to a lot of us for doing what they did to us, and I'm sure a lot of people may have dropped off of Discovery Plus. I'm kind of one that's still hanging on there, hoping that because that's about one of the only places you can catch almost all of these shows.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the one that did kind of drop Discovery Plus when all that happened, but I have HBO Max, and then HBO Max wants to upload all the stuff from Discovery Plus too. And I'm like, hey guys, now I didn't pay for this. I don't want to watch Zach Baggins anymore.
Yeah, and that's kind of sad, because it used to be. I don't know if you're a lot younger than I am, but back in the day when cable first started, and I'm talking about when it first came out, the reason there was a fee, maybe people don't know this, I'm going to say it like it was, because this is how it was, and I'm talking way back. The reason they charged you a fee was because it was going to be commercial free.
Oh.
That's what you were paying for. Now look at it. You pay the fee and you get more commercials than you get on regular TV. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, so everything's turned around. It's become so commercial that it's just bad. I mean, you don't even want to deal with it anymore, because none of this is cheap, I don't care what you use, I mean, cable alone, just any service, wherever you go, they're expensive. I mean, they go, and then they go up, Or mine did. I mean, it started out at one price, sounded pretty good, and then it just started going up. And I'm like, man, what am I renting? Because like a
Yeah.
renter, yeah, like you're renting a house or something because everything just goes up. Every year it's going to go up, going to go up, going. And I don't know. It's like one of them payday loans or car title loans or something like that. It's not
Yeah.
going to stop. You're never going to catch up. So, but I don't know. I mean, what's your next adventure or next show or next? What are you going to tackle next versus
My next
on this show on your show?
Yeah, my next adventure, there's this little town called South Salem, Ohio, and it has this little cemetery in it right next to an elementary school. In that cemetery is Queen Victoria's half sister, Mary Morter. She's the only British royalty that's buried in the cemetery, and it's a very interesting story, and it's a really sad story as well. And I'm really hoping that I can get her story out there, and she comes through during the graveyard shift that I'm going to do with her.
Okay, so how far is that from you, basically?
About 5 minute drive.
Oh, okay. So I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a big, too far to travel kind of a thing. So
No, it's
that's
it's where I grew up, so it's kind of home. It's my hometown.
got you. Well, that's good. Yeah, I mean, so that should be coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go out there and do it maybe next weekend. So be out. I usually do like a couple of shifts at a time, so that way it gives me a couple of weeks to put out videos, and then I can do more and edit more. So I do a couple of shifts at a time, and then I put them out week by week. So when you're seeing a new shift on my YouTube channel, that's been done and edited like a month ago. So I'm always continuously shifting, but also saving videos, editing videos, putting out videos week by week. It's a
Yeah,
process.
yeah, and I know I was doing that with the slap recon on the restaurants and different places that I was going out. But then they just started, my laptop ain't 1 gigabyte or wherever that is. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I got to get these things out. Because it was getting to where so much editing. Like when I'm ready to put it out. So I just started just as I do it, I edited, put it out the next day. Let's keep moving. Because I'm not the super techie guy. And for me to figure this stuff out is kind of like that's the strange part. On my side. So but I did, so not bragging on myself. I'm just kind of, I was kind of stupefied, and I was like, I can't go back now, so I got to keep moving, keep trying. So
That's
I
right.
don't
Keep
know.
moving forward.
Yeah. And so you're thinking, well, not thinking, but you're saying that she's the actual sister of Queen Mary?
Queen Victoria.
Queen Victoria. I'm sorry. I'm
Hmm.
thinking of the boat for some reason.
Yeah, the Queen Mary. Yeah, she's Queen
Yeah.
Victoria's half sister. So they shared a dad, and I can't exactly remember. I don't have my notes in front of me, but it's
Yeah.
like one of the major kings back in, I want to say 1880s, the 1880s. That sounds about right. Yeah, the 1880s.
Better known as the olden days. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
It's for us to know the real history. It's called the olden days. So
Hmm.
and well, that's good. What else you got planned?
Well, I don't know if you know a lot about Ohio, but the school district that I'm currently in has this magnificent high school that looks like a museum, an art museum. They have marble staircases, marble statues, statues of like Greek gods and goddesses that are just bust, murals, paintings, beautiful, beautiful artwork. And I've been going to investigate there this summer while the kids are out of school. I know some people that work there that can get me in at night, and I'm going to try to see if I can talk to the man that created the high school. His name is Edward Lee McLean. So I'm going to try to contact his ghost and try to get some kind of. They always say like you can hear doors slamming and lockers opening up on their own all night long. So I'm going to try to capture some of that, I hope, on video.
Are you going to try to like put up a multiple camera or leave one there versus going to the other side of the school or
Yeah, that's
you?
what I'm going to leave a camera and then kind of go investigate in a different area and then come back and check the camera. And there's also a really nice auditorium there. When I did a graveyard shift with Edward Lee McLean, because he's buried at my main cemetery, he actually said his favorite part of the school was the auditorium. So I'm hoping maybe I can catch some activity in the auditorium.
Hmm. Well, that'd be pretty good. I mean, they're going to allow you permission to go in there and do this.
Yep, I got permission from the people that work there that I can go in and do this.
Okay, well that's good, and that should be a good one too. I mean, basically with us, we're just, as we're kind of like starting out, but I'm trying to get Dalen to get in here, and I'm working on that. Trust me.
Oh,
And
that would be good.
but I am going to try to get in touch with him. I'm not going to be able to make NOLA, so New Orleans.
Yeah,
Um,
me neither.
yeah, the only reason I can't make it is because I got an engagement that week. So I know that if that was to cancel, let's say 2 weeks before the deal, the tickets are all going to be sold out. So
Yeah.
so I wouldn't know if anything that I know. So far, what I got is planned. So I mean, I'm pretty much, it's pretty much etched in stone, unless something horrific happens. I guess I don't know, but I do want to make it out there to Atlanta, and yeah, I'm planning on trying to see if I can get out there one day, a couple of days this year. There's some stuff I want to see out there in Georgia, and
Oh, yeah.
or I'd like to go to Savannah. So between the two, I think Savannah would be the most haunted, from what I
Yeah,
understand.
I agree. It's like one of the older cities in America.
Yeah, so I'm going to try and shoot for that. I don't know that I'll be able to, because you got to pick the seasons too. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not going to travel in the dead heat. It's just not going to happen. I don't believe in that. I don't like going nowhere in the heat. And down here right now, we're hot. I
Oh,
mean,
I could imagine.
yeah, our feels like is 110, so it's nothing to play with. And down, over here, it's with a moisture. We have a lot of moisture because Galveston's the bay. I mean, the Galveston Bay is not that far from. I'm probably about maybe 70 miles away from it. And anyway, this whole area is the moisture, and it creates the humidity. So when you step outside, you're right away sweating. Boom, you're done. You're ready.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so the hotter it gets, and when we hear anything past 103, the feels like, because it can be 93, 92 or 94 outside, the feels like it'd be 105 right off the bat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and that's just what we're going through right now, and this is going to stay like this with us probably until, I'm going to guess, I think we usually do this till the beginning of September, first week in September, because it normally rides for a while. So
Yeah.
summer heat is our worst down here. That's something, none of us like it, Well, there's some beachgoers that love this stuff. I'm not that guy either, man. I mean,
Mm-mm.
I'm
Nope.
not going to do that, So, but normally when it starts, like the fall starts kicking in over here, I kind of like, that's when I try to plan everything I'm going to do, because I know that, hey, I got X amount of time to do it, so I better jump on it now. And I'm working on some stuff now. But then I get these restaurants for the Slap Recon, and I get a lot of them calling, texting me and messaging me and stuff, and that, you're the guy that went to so-and-so. Do you think you can do a wedding here? Come over here. Or you think you can? I'm like, I don't do that. There's certain things I just don't do, this has nothing to do with highlighting a quinceanera or a sweet 16 or a wedding. That's not what I do, So I guess they see my videos and they think I'm a guy that can come out and do that. And I don't know. I'm not going to go and make a video for somebody's daughter who's having a 15, sweet 16 or a 15. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'd be kind of a little out of place there,
Yeah, that's totally out. But I get a lot of requests for stuff like that. And
So, like, can I bring Bones? Can
Right?
Bones be my
Yeah.
plus one?
Yeah, if Bones can be the best man, we'll do it. So, we'll do it like that. And then there's other, like, we were having this rain back a couple of months ago, and I was going to go and hit another restaurant that I had told them I'd go out there, and they've been open under a year, or about a year maybe, and I told them that I would come out there, and it's a long way from, it's in Houston where I live, but it's kind of way on the opposite side of Houston, and Houston is not a small city. It's a big city, so it was a good drive to get out there, and they're on the worst part of town. It's traffic just to get to them. So the day that I did go, because we'd had these storms come through, and it was clear on my end, so I was like, oh, well, maybe they should be good, and I went out there and everything, took that long drive, and that whole area was still out of light, and it was like a week and a half after the storm. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
yeah, they were out for a long time, and I was like, they're still out over here. And I did a quick video on it, I think I did, and just showed that I actually came out here, but their lights are out, and I couldn't believe it. I was kind of like, man, Poor guys.
Wow.
Because when you're a business owner and your lights go out, 1 or 2 days is a a pain. But anything
Oh yeah.
longer than that, anything longer than that, now you're looking at product loss. You're looking at money loss. You've got people
Mhm.
that are, they need their pay. I mean, they get hourly wages. So a lot of people suffer from that. And as far as I know, because I've never had any restitution for none of that, or when it's ever happened to me. So, but I kind of feel bad for these. That's why I like to do on the Slap Recon. I like to highlight people. I do the best I can to try to highlight, and that's why with you, being that you wanted to do the tryout, I said, let's try to work on the Under the Moon paranormal thing, and let's see if we can push something on that. And then, because this is going to be on the Slap Recon side, not going to be on the. Well, you know what? It'll go on the Explain Strange, and I'll probably put it on Slap Recon. So I think I'll put it on both of them. This one, because I am kind of doing both things right now, kind of testing you out. You get what I'm saying? And then and then let the other half see what your the paranormal side is and see what it does. So, I mean, is there anything you left out about Under the Moon that we don't know? Do you have? Okay, I got a question for you on that. Do you have a team? Do you have a team?
Not anymore. I used to, but we all kind of like went our own ways, had kids, and grew up. Because we started this when we were like in our 20s. It was just me, my best friend at the time, Jenny Truman, and my neighbor, that's still my neighbor, Tanya Annan. And we all just kind of just had this thing going in our early 20s. And then, we all had kids, got married. Some of us got married. And Jenny had some troubles. So we all just kind of went our own ways. But now they don't want to do it anymore. So I'm just kind of like a lone ranger over here doing it all on my own. But yeah, I have a coworker. Her name's Candy. She'll come with me to the house investigations that I do. She don't like going out to the cemeteries at night. She gets scared easy.
Yeah, I mean, I would see how some people would kind of be afraid to go to a cemetery at night. Me personally, it wouldn't bother me a bit. Stuff like that doesn't get to me. When I was growing up, I'll throw this note out. When I was growing up, and this was like in the, I believe it was the early high school years. That was a long time ago. And there was this deal and at the high school I was going to. And what it was, there was a cemetery, and the name of the cemetery was Hollywood Cemetery. And it was known to have some famous people in there that, I don't know, that's not what we went looking for. So what happens is at night it was open, and they would take you on this, and it was a road that goes in, and then it comes out on the other side. Well, they would go, it's like a U, okay? So they would take you down that U, it's a dare, and they would, or initiation. They take you down the end. When they come to the part where it's going to go to come back on this way here, they drop you off. And then they leave you back there, and you got to find your way back to the front. But the story was, there was an urban legend behind it. It's always an urban legend. Back in them days there were. The story was there was the caretaker, the grave digger. He stayed there, and if he caught you, he would hit you, kill you with a shovel or an axe or a pick, or I forgot what it was. So people were always dropping somebody off back there, and of course I was dropped off, and I hung out there for a while. I mean, you know what I mean? So they're waiting for me out in the front, like, and I'm like just hanging out in the back. I'm like, why go over there? And like I ran out of here. I said, no, I'm going to make them think something happened to me. So I stayed back there for a good 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, and then finally I came out, and they're already driving back in there trying to look for me, and I'm like laughing. I said, man, these rookies,
That's funny.
So,
That's great.
Yeah, it didn't scare me. So, I mean, that's what I say. I mean, I'm just a guy that doesn't, I don't show that. I don't know why. I mean, I guess that's why I joined the military, because I've always been that guy, like, if it's scary and other people don't want to do it, I kind of look at them and go like, I'll do it. I'm that guy, bring it, bring it. Let's do this, so, but I mean, cemeteries, I don't see any problem going in there, and, I don't have a problem with it, so I'd go in and out, and, I know there's something when Dalen was first starting to do this. You remember when he did his first night cemetery deal? That was hilarious. I love seeing that.
I about peed my pants. I laughed so hard.
I still go back and look at that one sometimes, man, because the way he went like Didn't even go halfway. It was like,
Like
he was
two
on that
steps in,
road.
he's like, uh-uh.
Yeah, and he turned around and hauled that. I mean, hauled it.
He
I was
did.
like, it was funny, and I was like, to me, that's one of the best ones out of the graveyard shift. I mean, because if you were to
Yeah,
sit there and you take all the graveyard shifts and say, what would have been your favorite one? That was my number one right there. I mean, I'm sorry.
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
mean,
that was a good
because
one.
yeah, anytime you see somebody, it's just funny when you see somebody scared, and you
It
can
was very
tell.
real.
Yeah, and you can tell that it's not that fake scared. I mean, it's a
He
fear,
had terror, yeah. It was
Yeah,
terror in his voice.
it's that Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein and werewolf dudes. It's kind of like they were acting in that show, like they were scared, of the monsters and all that. And well, it's the same thing with him. He really showed he didn't want no part of that at that time, but now
No,
he's
he
come
did
a
not.
long way. Yeah, he's come a
Yes, he
long way
has done a
now.
lot, gone a long way. Yes, we're very proud of him.
Yeah, and I'm gonna send him a shirt. So yeah,
Nice.
and I'm sure he'll wear it. He wore the other one. So
Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah.
we're gonna put this one on him and see what he says.
Yeah.
Who knows? Well, either way. So anything else you want to add?
Yep. Out of the three cemeteries that I frequently do graveyard shifts, they're all different. We have what we call the old burial grounds in Greenfield, and I used to restore and clean the headstones there because when I was a teenager, that's where we used to go hang out and do, we smoked cigarettes and did things we weren't supposed to do at the old burial ground. So when I was in my 20s and I was doing these paranormal investigations, the historical society there had volunteers open up to help them clean and restore headstones. So I learned how to do that through them, and I helped them get over half of that cemetery completely cleaned up. And now when I go there, I get more responses there, and I think it's because I help clean and restore the headstones. They are always coming through. They know me by name there. They always say, "Hello, Melanie," which I find very fascinating. And there's also what they keep telling me, an elemental spirit that haunts the old burial grounds. So that's one cemetery. The second cemetery is the St. Joseph Catholic Church Cemetery. I'm not welcome there, and I think it's because of the Catholicism. They don't talk there at all. They don't come through the spirit box. It's very quiet there. And then I have the main cemetery that I'm always at doing my experiments. They come through all the time. Ghosts ask me for help there. I help them cross over. I help them let go of things, and they like to play with the toys I bring them. So out of the three graveyards, I always recommend my old burial ground videos to people. If you're just starting out on my channel looking through my videos, check out the old burial grounds. Then it'll say that in the description.
Okay. Well, are those more in the early years, or you've been doing those periodically since even up to today?
This is the earlier years is the old burial ground. That's kind of where I first started going and haunting, doing my investigations.
So you haven't been back?
I have a couple of times back in February and March. I was up there doing some shifts.
Oh, okay. Well, that's kind of
And
recent.
that's when they said hello, Melanie. Like they were like, oh, she hasn't been here for a while. I thought that was really really cool that they knew me by name.
Well, then did you get that on YouTube or on your
I
channel?
did.
Or
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
Well, that's still there. There you go. That's something to watch. So that's the old burial grounds, guys. So make sure you check
Hmm.
that out. That's going to be on Under the Moon Paranormal. So not under Melanie's profile. It'll be Under the
Right.
Moon Paranormal. And
Right.
let's see. I had one more question and I can't seem to find it. I thought I wrote it down, but you know what? I think I wrote it on another page. And I left it over there because normally when I get set up for these things, I'll sit over there by the TV on the other room there, and then I'll have a pad, and then I'll just write as they pop in my head, So
Hmm.
I don't know. Cool. I do have another one. Let's do this one. So you work a graveyard shift, actual graveyard shift, meaning overnight, right?
Yeah. I work in an old factory here in Greenfield, and a lot of people have died while working there. At least 5 people, and a lot of weird stuff happens at night there because when you're there at night, that's when all the creepy stuff happens anyway. But yeah, there was one time we were locking up for the morning, turning off all the lights, walking up to the time clock, and this light bulb just comes up out of its fixture and falls on the ground and just shatters everywhere. And me
Huh.
and my supervisor, we look at each other, and he's like, let's just say we didn't know that happened and let first shift figure it out. I'm like, okay.
That's no type of factory that goes underground, right?
No.
I mean, or is it like a smelting factory or
No,
something?
it's just, it's wires. We
Okay.
work with wires.
Because I was just wondering the kind of deaths that would happen there. I mean, because sometimes when you see the smelting ones or the ones that have iron and they're producing stuff like that, they fall in that iron or fall in a pit of some sort or
Yeah.
heat
Some people
treatings.
have lost fingers here at this factory. There's finger guards for a reason.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
no, the people that passed away, they were just old and had
Okay.
heart problems and stuff. They just passed from natural causes.
Okay. So nothing critical or serious. I mean, like,
No. But wouldn't that be awful to pass away while working? It's like, are you still clocked in or can you leave? You know what I mean?
I'd leave.
Yeah.
I mean,
Same. I wouldn't want to be there.
my nature is when I hear the bell ring, I'm gone. I don't care where I was,
Uh-huh.
school, work. It didn't matter where it was. When time was up, I'm out of the door, man. I was like
Same.
the guy that always was standing at the door, really.
Same.
So
Yeah.
yeah, because I mean, I don't do no 1 minute overtime for nobody. I'm out of here. I don't
Yeah.
even want. I don't even need the minute. So I'm that guy. So unless it was on my shift, well, yeah, I would do it. Because I have done a lot of overtime. But if it wasn't, and I know I get off at that time, I'm leaving right
Mm-hmm.
there.
Yep.
You know,
Out the door.
blink and slap is gone. Period. That's just the way it is. It ain't gonna go no other way. So, well, I appreciate you coming out and doing this, and we ironed it out. Whatever it was at the beginning, we'll see if it pops into the video. We'll see what we do. But well, it turned out good. And you're mostly you like to do your stuff during the morning, during the night, during the week, right? During the week time.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm a night owl usually because of the third shift thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's like early morning, late at night for some people. But usually my peak hours of where I edit content or even out there in the cemetery is right around dark until like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Hmm. Okay. Dusk to dawn. There you go.
Mm-hmm, pretty much.
Pretty much. Okay. All right. I'm gonna let you go, and I appreciate you doing this, and we'll go ahead and get this content out, and hopefully the people start following you, and I think that we can get people to start following your Under the Moon Paranormal, and let's see what happens. Maybe we'll get you back on another one because I would like to
Yeah.
get you back, and maybe we can do one of them other shows that or talk about some of the other stuff that you've done.
We could talk about UFOs. We could talk about Bigfoot. Whatever you want to talk about, man. I love anything that's spooky.
Yeah, my main concern, my main objective is to try to get somebody on here with me to try to throw a third person in here. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm shooting for. So when I say co-host, a lot has to do with that. I'm kind of like wanting to get a third person to come in here and do some talking and tell us exactly what
Yeah.
they do with all that. And I'm talking about like I would like to get some to pop in from the Skinwalkers, maybe some of the Bigfoot guys in Florida. Um, because I'm very skeptical about both of those. But
Mm-hmm.
bringing somebody in to go ahead, that's what the Explain Strange would be, and that's what that's all about. To bring them in and go ahead and let them tell us what they know or what they've seen or what they have or what they haven't seen or what they feel about it.
Yeah. That'd be
You know,
interesting.
I mean, it would really be interesting to get Jack Osborne in here, right? Can you
Oh
imagine?
my gosh, yes. He's a household name in our house. Grew up watching him.
Yeah,
He's my age.
yeah, he would be cool to bring in, and I've started sending out some calls to some people, some messages out to them. Michelle Ballinger is one of them, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna try because I was thinking about what I think this might fit right now for some of the psychics that were on the shows. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yes,
there was a
absolutely.
lot of them, and I'm thinking that if I can just reach out to them and send the messages because going straight to Dave Schrader, it's not like he's going to pop on this show. He's got his thing going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But get somebody who was with him or came out on Kindred Spirits. There was like a psychic or someone who came out with the Ghost Brothers. That
Yeah.
would or somebody that popped in with Tim Wood maybe.
Oh
And
yeah.
Yeah, and then see if I can get some. If some, you never know. I mean, anybody can check back, and that's all it takes is one person to call, just to send a message back and say, hey, I wouldn't mind doing it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm starting to send those out now. I just started not even a week ago, and I'm just trying to get the list ready of all the rest of the ones that I'm going to send out because, I just sent out like two or three maybe. And I figured I'm trying to get the list of all their names and whatnot. I'm trying to remember. So I'm going back to some of the shows and trying to get the names of the ones that were on the past shows. Like in the Lights Out episode, the Ghost Brothers,
Yeah.
the first season, stuff like that. Some of those guys, and see if I can get some. I know most of them were ladies, but I'm trying to find them and then try to search and find them online where they would be. Because some of them ain't even on Facebook or anywhere. And I'm like, man, they're hard to find. Yeah, they're not easy.
Yeah.
And maybe I don't know where they're at, but there's some of them, I'm starting to locate. And I'm going to start sending messages out to them guys. And then we're going to try to see if we can get one of them on here. Or two or three of them. I mean, because I'm sure that somebody's going to know who they are,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure, that they're going to hopefully have a good crowd too, and it's,
Yeah,
again,
that'd be amazing.
it's all about trying to explain what's going on and what they're doing now, and,
Yeah.
who knows. So, okay, we're going to cut this one loose. I really appreciate you showing up, and we did good. We didn't have to worry about, canceling the show because at first it kind of seemed kind of funny.
Yeah, it was a little scary there for a second.
Yeah, but, when you're determined, it's easy to iron out. Just keep moving, keep trying, and
That's
then
right. Yeah.
you'll get it fixed up. So, all right, we're going to let you go on this one and appreciate you. And
Hey, thank you for having me on.
Not a problem. And looking forward to seeing you again. All right. Good night. Take care.
Night. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was, like I said, that was Melanie from, Under the Moon Paranormal. And she's spent a little time with us to let us know exactly what she's up to. The podcast, I think, went well. She had a good time here, gave us a lot of information, told us exactly what items we could use to go ahead or we could use to go ahead and use during a ghost hunt and whatnot. And we learned a little bit about what all they do and the different deals that they do. So she did say that you can find her on YouTube. So I'll be checking some of her stuff out too. I really haven't much. I've checked a few things, but not a lot of things. So, but the main thing you want to look for is Under the Moon Paranormal, and then make sure you continue to follow Slap Recon. And remember, this is Explained Strange here. And shirts are ready. There they are right there. Hope you like them. And let us know if you want one. Go to Slap Recon. They're going to be on that site for sale. So you're good to go on there. And that's going to be another one. And Bones, I don't know where he went. He was there earlier. He's gone. And then he's probably the one that was mishapping things. Bones gets in his attitude. Y'all see his new look. And that's really what it is. Bones got some new look, and he's kind of like getting a big head. I mean, I should have made the skull like that big, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Because Bones is big headed there, and he appreciates all those that are asking about him, and messaging and stuff. He gets a kick out of those, and I always let him know that you got another 2 or 3 messages, and so that's always really neat. So keep it up. Don't forget about Bones. Keep sending him messages. He loves it, and I appreciate you guys coming out here and watching the podcast. Excuse me for stuttering a lot today. I was discombobulated because what was happening at the beginning, but then I had a lot of things I was doing today. So very busy day. But now this day is over, and I'm going to leave you guys, and I'm going to thank you all for watching Slap Recon, and thank you for following Explain Strange Podcast. And we'll see you on the next.